the front.
That's really cool. That they were just, they're that
Hi,
cautious.
Joanne.
She went, "Are you? Who are you saying are you to?"
But it could explain a lot of things, and the same with like the big cats and stuff over here. Why they're not being captured on cameras? Because they're saying that the fewer the pairs of eyes, the less chance that
Hey, Mum.
they spot things, and that it's the wary side of the brain kicks in.
I was watching something on big cats. It's a few weeks ago now, and because I'm like you, I like big cats, and I told you about it. Do not pull Nana's hands like that. And they were investigating one of the videos that had been captured of one of the big cat sightings. I think it was our Bodmin, I'm not sure, but it was a video. And so this scientist guy, and he also just investigates these sightings. He went to have a look at the area.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just the area where they caught the video. He went something like a 10-mile radius, going into different areas and different places. And he literally followed, whether through scat or markings or things like that. He literally followed a route where he thought this cat was, and where it had been, and he was more or less convinced that a big cat was there. But what convinced him more is, on this video, the gap where it shows him running the cat legging it across.
Yeah.
When he got there, he said, "I couldn't believe how wide it were."
Yeah.
He said it was absolutely a massive gorge. He said, "I didn't realise from the video, because it had been took from a bit back, that it was this big." And the cat, on the video, he timed how long the cat took to get across it, and then he said there is no way that was a little house cat or anything like that.
Yeah, because they move incredibly quickly.
Yeah.
The big cats.
He said it was amazing. He said when I went and I saw the size of he said it could only be something like a panther, or that sort of thing. That a big animal that could make it across in the 3 strides or whatever it were that this cat did it in.
Yeah, well, I was watching a documentary yesterday that was done last year, and there was one of these big cat hunter guys on it, and he's claiming that they are actually all over the UK, and he's claiming that they are regularly hit on roads.
Yeah, I watched that. I watched it yesterday.
But the government's covering it up because they know people will panic if the British public realise that a potential man killer's on the loose in the British countryside.
Yeah.
But did you see the bit with the guy with the caravan where the black leopard was in the caravan?
Yeah.
And you could actually see it, Mags, looking through the window. And then they phoned the police, and then dodgy guys turned up and shot it.
Yeah.
And the police didn't turn up. It was a group of dodgy people who turned up and shot it and carted it off.
Well, they're obviously outsourcing that job, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, there's obviously some. Well, you saw that government directive I sent you yesterday in Scotland, where they were advising what to do if one was spotted. They were advising the farmers how to shoot them.
I was showing Rob that this morning.
Yeah. So so the Scottish government are taking it serious.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not. When he explained it, it started in the 1800s when there was no dangerous animal laws or anything, and they used to have them and everything, and then they'd get too big and they'd just chuck them out, kind of thing. Yeah. I mean,
where I lived back in the Midlands, there used to be a guy who lived a couple of miles from me called Lou Fowley, and he kept lions, and he was well known for it. He used to have this great big, like the Winnebagos that the Americans have.
Yeah.
He'd got one of them, and he used to drive through Craigleith High Street with these lions sitting on top of this Winnebago.
Oh my God!
He was a very well known character where I lived, and he was actually mentioned on an article I was looking at yesterday. He was quite well known across the country for having his lions, and he admitted himself that he knew of other people who owned cats who would actually, when the 1976 Dangerous Animals Act came into effect, that they took their cats to places like Cannock Chase and the Yorkshire Moors and let them go.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you can understand why they did it, because they didn't want to kill them.
Yeah.
But
You know, there's one guy who's actually claiming there are between 2,000 and 4,000 big cats living wild in the UK.
That's crazy. And did you see some of the footprints? I seen that, and some of the footprints he had, and some of them was the nails out because they've interbred, obviously from way back generations back. You know, maybe going back to early 1900s, whatever, and they've inbred because there were a lot of them then. And one of the side effects was the nails out all the time instead of being able to retract them.
Yeah. Well, Siamese are one cat who can't. They're the same. They can't retract their claws.
Yeah, tigers can't. Tigers are born that's how they're born.
Yeah.
Tigers don't retract the claws.
Yeah, Siamese cats don't either. But they've said they've started hybridising between the leopards and the pumas, and the pumas and the lynxes.
Yeah.
Because they're campaigning at the moment to get the lynx and the wolf introduced back into Scotland, because what a lot of people don't realise is leopards, lynxes and pumas are all natural to the UK. Yeah, they are natural species of the UK. That, you know, it's not like they've never been here. They were just hunted to extinction. They are one of our natural species, all three of them.
Yeah, yeah. But it's the same with the bear. The bear was natural over here as well.
Yeah.
We hunted. The thing is, we are predators, and we hunted these things and we ate them, and that's what happened. We ate them. We didn't kill them. We literally, well, we did because we had to kill. Is that what you think? Okay. We literally hunted them for food, and that's what we did, and we hunted them to extinction.
Yeah.
Yeah, she actually did that with her foot.
Okay.
Yeah, she's such a good writer with your feet. Well, we can have a wing. Well, where do you want to go then?
Sounds like somebody's not getting her own way.
No, she's not. I won't let her on the floor because she'll be at the stairs in 2 seconds. Where do you want to go?
But they've said these big cats have been sighted in pretty much every single village in the UK.
Yeah.
Every single village at one point or another has had reports of a big cat. And I didn't realise until I started researching it the other day, the place where I used to go to collect reptiles and stuff, there's one there, and it actually showed you the video of it, and that was well, people call them black panthers, but them actually, hi Ruby, they're actually black leopards.
Yeah.
You know, but they've said they're not good, because people are saying, oh, they're going to start moving into towns and stuff, and leopards have started living in towns in India, but that is because in the wild the population's saturated. So they've had to move, but they've said over here they wouldn't move into towns like foxes do, because they naturally avoid people.
Was it South Africa where they put those traps out, and they put them all around the town because they thought they had one like animal coming into the town causing trouble, so they put these traps all over, and they ended up catching 6 panthers.
Yeah.
In the town.
Yeah. Well, in India, there's towns in India that actually coexist with them in the towns, and they've got, you know, like systems in place so that they can live in unison with the leopards, because they've just moved into the towns like we've got urban foxes.
Yeah.
You know, and they're not, and especially the lynx, which, you know, is the smallest of the one. You'd never see a lynx in the wild, even if we got them, because as soon as they heard you coming, they'd be gone.
Yeah.
People think just because they're apex predators, they're going to attack, but they're not. You know, they'll be gone.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't always equate, like, you know, you can't carry that thought through to every animal, you know, the more scared of us that we are of them.
Well,
because that's just
there are no reports of any human lynx attacks on humans. There are not.
Yeah, I'm just saying that might be the case, but you can't do that for every blood. You know, you always hear it. The more scared of you than you are of them. I just sit there, and I'm looking at this big bear, and I'm thinking he's really not scared at all.
No, but bears are actually the opposite. Bears will come and investigate.
Yeah.
Whereas big cats, even tigers and lions, would rather avoid you.
The lions and tigers and bears. Oh my!
You know, with the lions, you do get the occasional rogues, like the Sasavo ones that turn man-eaters, but generally you know, even the big cats like the lions will actually move away from man
Yeah.
rather than come, you know, and attack. The only time they tend to attack is when they're threatened or protecting young.
Yeah, definitely.
You
But I
know,
mean,
but there is no recorded account of a lynx attack on a human.
I'll tell you what was funny in that video as well, where he was saying like they just like scoop them up off the road. There's been loads that have been killed in car crash, car
Yeah,
accidents and that, and they like get them cleaned up quick so nobody knows.
yeah. But if you think about it, that is quite a reasonable um, conspiracy theory that could be possible.
Yeah,
You know, because of the panic it would cause if people realise there are, you know, 4 to 6 foot long black leopards wandering around the countryside.
yeah. And there was that other one where they said there were two that were dead on the central
Yeah,
reservation.
and the lorry drivers could see them,
Mm,
and they close the road off. But it makes you wonder how many times when you get these country roads suddenly closed off by the police, is this what's happening?
yeah,
Are they clearing up a big cat roadkill?
yeah. It is strange, and I think. I don't think there's many of us that would be too worried about it because we're not got, you don't see it splashed all over the news or anything like that. So, I mean, even if they did come out and was like, well, there are a few more than you think out there, they're not doing like mass killings, are they? So, I don't think anybody would be that bothered, really. You know,
It's people who go rambling and walking and stuff like that. You know, it causes a mass panic. You know,
well,
they wouldn't want to be going rambling across the Yorkshire moors if they think there's a chance they're going to be eaten by a black panther.
I'm going to be honest, I'd probably want to go more for a look.
Well, some people would, and I would. If they said to me there are definitely black leopards on Yorkshire moors, I'd go looking to
Yeah,
try and find them. But the majority of ramblers and stuff, who tend to be old people and, you know,
yeah,
probably ain't going to want to be wandering around where there's a chance they're going to be pounced on by a 4 or 5 foot long black leopard.
yeah. But I mean, I've got to say, I'd want to go and have a look.
And the biggest problem we've got in this country is the sheep farmers. You
Well, yeah,
know
you think that because I thought they had actually released some wolves back into
no,
Scotland, but
they've been campaigning for years to get it done, and they thought they'd found an area. They purchased an area a couple of years ago, some big forest area, and they've decided now that it ain't actually big enough. So they're now trying to find somewhere else. But
Right.
they're another species that avoid man.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
all the fairy tales about them eating people are just total bullshit. They'd rather be anywhere else bar where a person is.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and the Yellowstone experiment with the wolves proved that the belief. See, it used to be a scientific belief that an ecology system worked from the bottom up, from the soil upwards.
Mm.
They now believe that ecology systems work from the top down, and it's actually and they've proved that the reintroducing the wolves in Yellowstone Park has totally regenerated the area. It's regenerated the plant growth. They have even changed the course of the rivers in Yellowstone
Wow.
by reintroducing wolves because the wolves have kept the deer on the move. The deer aren't overgrazing on the trees and stuff, so the trees are having chance to grow. And as the plants are coming back to the rivers as they should be, the rivers have actually changed course and gone back to their natural state of how they should be, and they're cleaner and stuff. And there is a documentary on YouTube called about it, and I think it's called "How the Wolves Changed the Rivers of Yellowstone." And they actually show you from how the ecology has actually worked from top to bottom rather than bottom to top.
That's really cool,
Yeah,
isn't it?
to the point they've even altered the course of the rivers in Yellowstone Park. But what a lot of people don't realise over here is the UK ecology is actually wrecked.
Yeah.
The UK ecology is not in balance. When they killed off the last wolves, I would, Joanne. So would I. I'd be exactly the same. And there are rumours that there are black leopards on the Yorkshire moors.
Oh God. Jesus.
There's a guy on YouTube. Sammy went in. He'd got an old caravan he was using as a shed, as a tool shed, and he went in to get some stuff out, and the cat was sitting. The leopard was sitting in there with him. He says, and I was a gentleman and just backed off and opened the door for him. And that was the one that they came and shot. He was absolutely livid over it. He says if he'd have realised that the police were going to send these people to shoot it, he'd have never have called them. He was
Yeah.
absolutely livid over it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, cats, big cats, if they're anything like little cats, if you're not bothering them, they don't tend to bother you that much. I mean, if my cat hates being, when she wants to love, she'll come up and rub against me and I've got a stroke her and then she walks out. But if I went to pick her up, she'd have me.
Yeah.
You know? And that's what most cats are like. If you don't book them, they don't book you.
Yeah.
You know? So that if he'd have walked off and left that cat to its own devices, it'd have probably just done
Yeah,
what?
but there are records of people who have actually released the big cats onto the Yorkshire moors in 1976, when the Dangerous Animals Act came into enforcement, and that people have actually admitted they took them to places like Cannock Chase and the Yorkshire moors and released them.
Oh. You see, I mean, I wouldn't be daft enough to think I could tame a lion or a leopard or whatever anyway. But if I had one, there's no way I could kill it. I'd have done the same. I can't have a go at it.
Yeah, I would have done. I'd have took it somewhere quiet and released it.
Yeah, I would.
But they've also proven that the vast majority of big cats aren't that keen on eating sheep anyway. They still prefer to go for the deer in the area, because apparently they're not overly keen on the wolf.
Right.
Because cats apparently the big cats like to feed on what they say is clean meat, and they rake the hide off the whatever it is they've killed before they eat it. And apparently, because sheep are so woolly, they will kill sheep, but not to the extent that the sheep farmers are claiming.
There were another thing though on that one that I watched yesterday. They were saying they have adapted to eat roadkill, and you find a lot that will eat roadkill rather than have to go hunting, especially if you've got a family nearby.
Yeah.
The other ones over here, they've adapted to that because we get a lot of roadkill.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, isn't it? Although I kind of want to see a hybrid lynx, puma, leopard.
You're right there, Sam. They do run away because they don't want to be around people, and they don't want to be seen.
No, they're solitary animals anyway.
But the one big cat expert has estimated there's between 2,000 and 4,000 loose in the UK at the moment, and they're saying because they are literally sighted from the northernmost tip of Scotland right down to like Land's End. He's saying there's no way this is just a small number of cats. Because he says things like motorways and stuff do prove to be unnatural barriers to them.
Yeah.
So it does keep them confined within certain areas. He says they have got to be many of these cats, and they do know that there were many released in the late 70s because of the Dangerous Animals Act.
It's crazy, that, isn't it? It is crazy. I'd like to see him put bulls back in there, I would.
Yeah, well, they're my favourite animal anyway, but I would. But they are still campaigning not only to bring the wolves back, but to also bring the lynx back.
Yeah. I mean, we'll be eating them this time, obviously.
See, they've got the Scottish wildcat at the moment, and they've estimated there's only about 54 of them left in the wild.
Really?
Yeah, and they tried to use the excuse, well, if you bring lynxes back, they'll eat the wildcats, and they've said no, they will have absolutely no interest in eating the wildcat. None whatsoever.
Right.
Because lynxes are more, they go for things like grouse, and they're more bird hunters.
Yeah.
The lynx.
Yeah.
And the leopard, given the choice between sheep and deer, will always pick a deer over a sheep.
But yeah, I mean, it's a bit hard to unwrap a sheep, isn't it?
There you go. Look, Joanne said I saw a large lynx on Cannock Chase years ago. It walked right up to us. It was amazing. Same though, because police said a few had been reported as people have them for pets. They can't look after them. Yeah.
It's true. It is a shame. It is. It's a
It
bit
didn't
like
make it, Sammy. It didn't make anybody jump. If you're expecting, your bog standard moggy to walk out, and a 4 foot long bloody leopard comes jumping out your shed.
you'd be like, what the bloody hell are you getting there?
Yeah, exactly. It's the last thing you expect to walk out your shed in. It is a leopard.
I
Let's be honest.
didn't realise he had growth hormones hidden in the shed. What the bloody hell?
See, I remember about 5 or 6 years ago, we were heading down to a dog show. I can't remember whether it was Windsor or not. And the friend who I'd got in the car at the time started screeching that she'd seen a big black cat in the field as we were driving along. Obviously, I was driving, so I missed it. But she swears blind to this day. She saw a big black leopard in the field.
Wow. Very cool.
But there
Well,
you go. You got two people. You got two people in the channel here who've experienced it.
yeah.
Sam had a leopard jump out of a shed, and Joanne saw the links on Cannock Chase, and that there are known cases of links on Cannock Chase.
Wow. That's cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm loving that.
I'd love to go. I'd love to go, because when I was younger, we used to spend a lot of time as kids in the country. We used to go camping and stuff. And a couple of times, are you still there, Mags?
I am.
Oh, you cut out. A couple of times we used to camp
I was just laying there down.
in this big. It was a big pine forest, and we used to camp there regularly most weeks. And we heard the one night the weirdest scream I've ever heard. Never heard it before, and never heard it since. Never even crossed my mind. It might have been a big cat. It was just a scream.
Goodness. I'm going to send you a picture. Well. We'll have to send it in Messenger. Can you open Messenger?
Probably, yeah.
There you go. That sounds like dulcet tones.
Hang on a sec.
Flat out.
Hang on. YouTube's, Facebook's decided not to open. I'll have a look on my phone. It'll be quicker.
So, I mean, you've got to think, right? I think the governments do know that these black cats, obviously, are roaming around. So, why are they killing them?
They're killing them.
I don't.
It's all economics. One, it's to do with the sheep farmers and farmers in general, because the government is going to have to pay them compensation if they admit these cats are there and killing their livestock. And two, it's to do with the tourist industry.
Yeah.
Places like Cannock Chase, like the Lake District, like the Yorkshire Moors, like the islands of Scotland. A lot of people would stop going if they thought there was a chance they were going to be attacked.
Yeah.
Cold. Max, can you just take over the chat a second while I run to the loo and do me a coffee? Thank you. Back in a sec.
No, it is. It is scary in a way, but it's also really fascinating. And like Brett said before, all these things are actually animals that were native to our country, 1,000 years ago. But there were another thing I watched, and I can't remember what it was. And we like to call ourselves like the apex predator. We like to think we're actually top of the meat chain, but we're not. We're way down on it. The only difference is, and the only reason humans have become the dominant on the earth is because of our thought processes and, obviously industrialisation and things like that. But you take electricity away from us, you put us back into, a time before electricity and gas and, plumbed water and all that. we're not so big up on the food chain then, are we? When, we're trying to start a fire in the woods, all these people who've never tried to do that before. We're not so big and clever then, So really, on the list of apex predators, we're well down if you think about taking electricity away from us. Which is cool, in a way. That we got to where we are. I'm just reading your comment. It was a mass fear at the time. I had the chat. Oh dear. It reminded me of E.T. Yeah, you'd have bricked yourself, wouldn't you, if they started putting those like white tunnels up from the shed. How crazy would that have been? Oh, I love E.T. Sarah's gone to sleep while I was sat here talking. She had a bit of a moan and then she went to sleep. Bless her, I don't know if she can sleep with us talking, but does it because it does you keep get mistaken. Pen opening got out. Oh, I can't remember seeing that, Joanne. You'd have thought that would have made bigger news. I can't remember seeing that in Dudley. Dudley. I was actually having. I don't blame you, Joanne. You see, this is the thing. I can understand it on an economic scale, but I mean, catch them. There's, the other thing they were saying in this is people think that it's cruel or it's not nice having them wandering out around our countryside because they think our weather isn't conducive. But this cat expert that I was watching, he was saying that if you actually look on a map at where pumas and leopards and even lynx live around the world, he said some of them are a hell of a lot colder and barren than our moors and our woods, and apparently I think it was a puma, it could have been the leopard, are the most adaptable cats to any environment, he was saying. So that's pretty cool. I was just saying that people don't often like the thought of them running around saying, oh, the environment's not conducive, but apparently they adapt really well and they live all over the world in different climates.
Yeah, but the thing is, they did used to live here. They didn't die out because the climate didn't suit them. They died out because they were hunted to extinction.
Yeah, which is what we do with a lot of things.
They are native to the country.
That was the other thing we were talking about. I said we like to think of ourselves as apex predators, but we're not really. Our industrialisation took us to that place. But if you took our electric away from us, our gas, our plumbed water, if you sent us back to all those things, we're not even on the food chain with them. They are stronger, fitter, and can adapt better than we ever could.
But the thing is, it's like, it makes you wonder, when you get these so-called cattle mutilations and sheep mutilations, and they're claiming they're aliens.
Yeah.
Knowing because they say when the big cats kill and they eat, what they basically do first is they disembowel they disembowel the victim and they go for the really soft innards first. The first thing they eat is the innards and stuff. And only if that don't fill them up do they then start onto the outer meat and stuff. And when people have said, oh, this animal was carved with, looked like it was cut with a laser, was it cut with a laser, or are some of these actually been cut with claws? And people, don't really, not thinking, oh, we've got leopards, have mistaken it for being cut with a laser when actually they've been disemboweled by a claw.
Oh God.
It does make you wonder.
Yeah, did you read Joanne's comment further back? I mean, I did address it, you worked back. But I can't remember that incident. Can you?
So, yeah, I just answered her. I put lol Sam like it, and yes, Joanne, I do.
Oh, yeah, I can't remember that.
Yeah, it got out in Dudley Zoo. It was wandering around the zoo. And they shot it.
It's like she said, why couldn't they just drugged it, darted it?
Because they overreact.
Well, that's fear, isn't it? But at the end of the day, should they really have a job there if they're going to be scared every time something like that happens? You know, you're working with dangerous animals. You can't brick yourself every time something doesn't go right.
Well, Joanne's just put there, they reckon the animals in Chernobyl are healthier than us. Says a lot about Warsaw.
It really does, doesn't it? Yeah, there's loads of dogs and everything, isn't there, running around Chernobyl? Like packs of wild dogs.
Yeah, but they're still highly radioactive, ain't there? A lot of them, apparently there's a lot of mutation going on there. And will do for hundreds of years, yeah.
I mean, look, we bred a pug, right?
Yep.
Somebody somewhere thought breeding a pug, a poor little dog that can't breathe properly through its flat face.
But the thing is, Max, that isn't actually how original pug should be. They bred them to deliberately to give them.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We bred that,
and they did it with the English bulldog as well, because the English bulldog's supposed to be quite long-legged.
Bloody hell. But how scary is it? I mean, you can say about mutations, but look what we're actually doing with purpose here.
Yeah. You know, but it does make you wonder that, you know, people are more willing to put down farm animal mutations to aliens rather than a more plausible explanation that it could be a large cat.
But I have seen this, and somebody said, "Well, how do you know it's not a cat or something?" And it's like, "Oh, well, there isn't any in this area." But would you bloody know if there were? We don't know. When we're in a small country, and supposedly we've got over 2,000 roaming around.
Hang on a sec.
And we don't see. Yeah, you're right.
Hello.
And the police. I was in the trees with the.
I'm just doing a quick little stream. We're just talking about big cats.
My kids were crying because they'd seen all the guns.
Alright, so I'll see you in a bit then.
Yeah, I'd have been on the
bye.
cat side. So I'd have been like cheering the cat on, like run, run, run. Would you not?
Sam, were you actually up the tree looking for the leopard? You know, because that is a bit risky. Or were you up the tree hiding from the leopard?
She had a tin of whiskies in her hand. Kitty, 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 kitty.
Because that is one of the staple things leopards do, is they drag their food up trees to stop
trees, yeah, and dangle it up, and they do, yeah.
To stop lions and other and other cats getting at it.
Yeah, they do.
I can't believe you climbed up a tree after it, Sam.
I'm just going to ring Chloe a sec and just see if she's coming to get her daughter, because I want a fag and I can't smoke with her in here.
Yeah.
And
I just rolled me once.
She's fast asleep. Do you know what I mean? She's not even awake. She can lift her and put her in a car.
Did they capture it in the end, Sam, or did they shoot it?
Chloe!
Chloe, come and get your offspring. I need some nicotine.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I'll just hide the chocolate and pretend she didn't eat some of it though. She didn't eat any of that chocolate at all.
I can't. No, I was in a wooded area at the side of the house. Not actually. Oh, I thought you meant you were up the tree.
Oh, she meant she climbed up the tree too.
Yeah, I did. When I was in the trees with a torch, I thought you meant to climb up the tree.
I did too. That girl, Sam.
You're a brave woman, Sam, to follow a leopard into a wood with nothing but a torch. You really are.
Yeah, you could have at least took some dreamers or something. In one of the children's, one of the ones you didn't like that much.
Yeah, I thought I meant to actually seen it in the tree and then climbed up the tree after it to try and coax it down.
It's a chuck a coat over it. Shh, quiet, pretend you're not here.
You can just imagine Sam was sitting up the tree with the spirit box talking to the leopard. What do you think this said?
Get your paws off it, eating cats. Oh dear, all I know is it escapes from a person who has that kind of animals. Alright. I've got tears in my eyes now. With scenarios going around
That
in
was
my
funny
head.
when I said it reminded her of E.T. You can just imagine it going, all these armed police swarming around the garden like on E.T.
I said, when you were aware, could you imagine if you start putting one of those white tunnels up from the shed door?
Well, that's pretty much what they did with that one in the caravan.
Oh dear. Yeah, probably because they didn't want to see him dragging it out.
Oh.
You know, that they killed it.
I cannot believe I went into the woods after it with a torch.
I know.
Take some guts.
My eldest daughter is like an animal whisperer. See, I'm not a dog person, but I've literally had to have like plastic surgery on my lip where a dog bit it off. So yeah, I'm not overly keen on dogs. I'd rather have my cats. I've got to be honest with you, but there's a reason for it. You know what I mean?
See, I like all animals. You know, I think they should just be left to. You know, they've got as much right to be here as we have, if not more.
Yeah.
Hi, Maureen. I prefer dogs to people, Maureen. You know where you stand with a dog.
No. Oh, I've got to tell that story, because I won't use names.
Yeah, don't use names.
Chloe just said somebody she knows has just got to prison for 14 months, and I went, what for? Apparently biting a woman's nipple off.
Oh my god.
In the toilets, this other woman's been considerably bigger than her, and she's been on top of her, and her boobs have been in her face, and she said, all I've got to do is just bite. So I didn't like intentionally go for said areola. I just bit, and it happened to be there. So like, and then the other girl's obviously been like, ah. So she's gone to get up, but she's not let go. So while the girls got up, it's just popped off.
Nipples don't just pop off.
No,
There's got to be some force there.
I'm trying to be PG. Severely sawn off by teeth.
You know, you've really got to clamp down to get a nipple off.
Yeah, but she did. She did, obviously. She got a good bite on there. But the girls obviously got up very fast and with a lot of force. And it's just from Dad and her mum.
Alright, okay, yeah. Oh dear.
I know, crazy, isn't it?
That baby in a cot for half an hour. She's been asleep for 20 minutes or so.
I'm going to bed.
Are you?
Yeah.
Alright, I'll see you in a bit.
See you later.
Oh God, could you imagine that? Oh my lord, I've got my hands on my boobs now. I've got to say, I'm literally sat here with my hands on my boobs, protecting them.
I did for a good couple of days. I couldn't look at her the same.
Like somebody's going to come in and have a mouthful.
Okay, enough talking about chewing off nipples, thanks.
Ooh. Hi Maureen, how are you?
Let's get back to cats.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, are you shivering now?
I'm starving.
Did you hear what Chloe just shouted up the stairs?
No.
Feed me, I'm starving. Oh dear.
Brings an whole new meaning to Bitty.
No nipples in the egg. They're every cow. Oh dear. Yeah, let's get back to big cats. I like tigers. Can we not have some of them here? You say I wouldn't mind if we had a tiger.
Apparently, on that documentary I watched, there was 23 tigers released in the UK.
Right.
They had admissions of 23 people that they released a tiger into the wild in the UK.
Oh God.
And some years back, there was actually a lion caught wandering around the streets of Birmingham.
No.
And it was caught on CCTV mags, and it was never found. So God knows where it ended up.
Oh wow. Tigers are quite solitary compared to a lot of other animals. So, I mean, if you don't know like where they were all dropped off and what sex they were, I mean, maybe they have died out because, you know, 23 is not enough. There would be lots of inbreeding going there. I don't know whether a tiger could mate with a puma. I mean, it could if it really wanted to because it's bigger. You know, they don't like. It's kind of not forced in the animal world. It's just is, isn't it? So I suppose a tiger, if it really wanted to get jiggy with a panther, it could. But whether it could create anything from it, I don't know.
The thing is, things like tigers are more aggressive than lions. They are probably one of the few cats that will actively stalk people and attack them.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. But I do like them. But
I like tigers.
You know, that's what I think a proper cat is. You know, it's like tiger. It's like it's like that.
You know, but I hope they do bring the wolves and the lynxes back into Scotland and now. Oh, but apparently the lynx one and the wolves, they're actually. I think the wolves are hoping to release into Scotland, but the lynx they're planning to release in a wood that's actually in northern England.
Yeah,
not actually in Scotland. So we'll get them first.
Imagine shopping in the bull ring and a lion popping up. I wonder how many people had run and how many people had just stand there gawping.
Well, to be honest with you, with any big cat, the worst thing you can do is turn your back on it and run.
Yeah, I'd just be grabbing the person in front of me and chucking.
Basically, they say, you know, if there was some big cat expert on there talking, and he said, you know, if that happens, don't turn your back on them. It's the worst thing you could do. Just look at them and walk back slowly. But you know, keep eye contact with them, sort of thing, because they said the minute you turn your back is when they come.
Yeah, a bit of Will Smith. Jiggy with it. No, but I absolutely adore the fact that there's things out there running around that we can't see. To me,
but the thing is, Mags, it just goes to prove when a fully grown lion can wander around Birmingham and disappear without a trace, smaller things like leopards, lynxes and pumas can easily do it. Easily.
It was like the chupacabra. I watched something on the chupacabra and they reckon well, this person thinks that the chupacabra exists, but he doesn't think it's anything paranormal or anything like that. He thinks it's a hybrid, of two different animals, and over time evolutions took hold, and that's kind of what we got.
Yeah, well, the two bodies of apparent chupacabras that they've actually DNA tested turned out to be wolf-coyote hybrids.
Yeah, that right. I think there was one with some cat in it as well. I read one, but yeah, wolf-coyote. That sounds like right. But I'm sure there was one that said there was one with some cat in it as well. But over time, they've evolved as well into something different. So, you know,
I can't see it having cat hybrid because cat and dog DNA wouldn't hybrid.
No. But it might have been cat and something else, you know, another kind of cat. I can't remember, it's a while ago. But yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? I mean, people think it's like supernatural, but it could actually just be two different species that, you know, got it.
You know, but I do wonder with these, you know, like cattle mutilations, sheep mutilations, how often the true story is that even though it's, you know, a more natural explanation, it's still an unbelievable one for most people.
Yeah.
You know, because it's still a big cat in this country that ain't been in this country for thousands of years.
Yeah, no, and you know that's totally understandable. But the point is, if it's there, isn't it? You know, you can't take it away when you can.
And the thing is, what you've got to bear in mind is these ain't recent. This ain't just a recent phenomena.
No.
These reports have been going on for over 100 years.
Yeah,
it's just they peaked in '76 with the Wild Dangerous Animals Act, and that was what triggered a lot more being released.
A lot of people let them go in the late 1800s as well, because it was when they were first bringing all these animals in, you know, because we were branching out across the world, and they were getting these animals and bringing them in then at the time, and then realising they couldn't look after them, so kind of opening the door and kicking them out. You know, so there was a big thing in the late 1800s with them, and then again in the 70s. So it is kind of weird. I mean, do they have like I mean, I'm not. I'm trying to think about what I've. Not just big cats per se, but do they have a like? They have a pride leader, don't they? Cats more than an alpha kind of thing.
It depends because leopards don't, and pumas and lynxes don't. It only tends to be lions that are pride animals.
Right. I mean, I know tigers are solitary
Yeah,
compared to
most big cats are solitary. So it's only the lion that tends to be different in that respect.
I
Le-
sure.
Leopards, they say a male leopard will have a territory of about 20 square
Yeah,
miles,
I've seen that.
but
That's
his territory will overlap a number of female territories.
yeah. So he gets a good time as he wanders around
Yeah,
because apparently,
basically that's what he does. He wanders around
yeah,
his territory and works out who's in east or whatever they call it.
yeah.
You know, and that's how they do it. But leopards don't stay in large groups. The only other big cat that does it to a point tends to be cheetahs, and they tend to be like, if there's multiple cubs born, like two brothers or something, they tend to stay together for a while until
Yeah.
they, but even they tend to split up eventually. It's only the lions that tend to have an hierarchy and a family unit.
There's loads of perfume on this love. What are you using?
Armani.
Me Armani.
Where the fuck did you get Armani?
I've got loads of perfumes.
I got this you.
I know. She's in here raiding me perfumes.
The shit.
Hurry up. How much do you need?
Oh, Sean.
Yeah, well, that's somebody else's.
Yeah, but when have you ever used it in like the 4 years that you've had it?
I might Google it later, Max, and see how many sightings there's been recently in Yorkshire for big cats on the moors.
Yeah, definitely.
I know the Yorkshire. It's like the Yorkshire moors, Cannock Chase in the Midlands, and obviously Exmoor, Dartmoor down there are the three big hotspots for it. Because obviously they're the three big areas in the country where you've got these big open areas where they can.
Isn't it weird though that I know they're not connected obviously, but it's like Yorkshire. They have all the UFOs and the big cats.
Yeah, but I think that is because Yorkshire is a lot more rural than
Yeah.
a lot of places in the rest of the country.
Yeah, it's all the moors and that, isn't it?
The Midlands is highly industrialised.
Yeah, definitely.
And the same with the majority. It's only like the southeast, down south, that is more open. And obviously you got the north. And oddly enough, the other hotspot is the Norfolk side, which again you got the Norfolk Broads. It tends to be the big open areas where the big national parks are and stuff. Because it's the perfect habitat for them. It really is the perfect habitat for them.
I'm just reading Joanne's thing there about the wolf hybrid.
I'm going to edit this when it's finished, and I'm going to relay it to big cat discussion.
Yeah. I do. I love the fact that I love huskies actually. So she got a husky. I absolutely adore huskies. They're like one of my favourite breeds of dogs when I look at them.
Well, the breed I've got here, the Japanese Shiba Inu, National Geographic did a survey on all 226 pedigree breeds a few years ago, and the Shiba Inu came top of being 99% DNA matched to the wolf.
Oh right, bloody hell.
The Shiba is the closest matching a dog to the wolf.
Oh, I wonder if my little kitty cat who's just come up to give me a love, it's got a bit of humour in her. Do you reckon? She's all black. She could have a bit of humour in her. Yeah. She's like, just love me, mum, and stop talking. I don't care what you're saying. I just want you to stroke me back, scratch me head, and that's that.
Same with my Shiba, Joanne, because they're the Spitz breed as well. She comes out in chunks, and I mean literally for weeks. Kaya, I sometimes slick a brush at 3 times a day, and it just never ends. If you've got any kind of double-coated Spitz breed, don't ever expect to have an air-free house, ever. Because it'll just never happen.
Yeah, I bet they're hard work, but they do look beautiful.
Huskies are like Shibas, they're very vocal as well. They've got plenty.
Yeah.
They've got plenty to say on everything.
Oh, see, that cats are a lot quieter. It's great.
Then cats yowl all night long.
No, they just jump on me and wake me up. That's what they do. Apart from when they really get insistent about waking me up, they get right in my face. They'll sit on my head and put their head over into my face and start going.
But it makes you wonder, Bags, with this thing with the big cats and like the Dangerous Animals, the Wild Animals Act, Dangerous Animals Act. What else was released apart from big cats? Obviously, things like big pythons and stuff wouldn't survive the winter over here. You know, anything reptile-based, crocodiles, alligators, and there have been reports of alligators and stuff spotted in canals and rivers.
Yeah.
There was one in the Midlands years ago down at Ironbridge. I'm going back about 10 years ago, and there was an alligator spotted over a number of days in the River Severn.
Yeah, and somebody's had bears, some form of bear, and
you know,
probably some form of like primate. You know.
But it does, you know, what else has been released into our habitat that could, you know, be potentially dangerous and could survive the climate here? You never know.
No. Well, bears could because they used to be native. So we know bears could survive here. So if somebody's had, you know, like a dancing bear kind of thing from Russia, you know that's been able to survive. You know.
Well, in the 1800s, bears were really common over here. You know, for performing dancing bears.
Yeah.
That, you know, they were a big attraction. They were like going to your circus nowadays. Well, you can't, you know, see circus animals in circuses now, but you know, it was like the circus equivalent to have dancing bears.
Yeah, definitely. Your nails need clipping, lady.
Storms making animals. Yeah, it's right, Chris. You know, climate change. You know, you don't know what. We are getting warmer from what we used to be. Our winters are a hell of a lot milder than they used to be. You don't know what could be surviving.
Do you know, it's more like our seasons are changing as well, though, isn't it? It's like winter's happening later.
Yeah.
Summer's happening later. You know, it's like our systems, our seasons are moving forward, if you will.
Most definitely.
It's
you know,
crazy.
but what else is wandering around in our countrysides being the state of something paranormal?
Yeah. I mean, there is a Bigfoot thing up in Scotland, isn't there? A story of a Bigfoot up in Scotland. I can't remember what they call it now.
There's one in East Yorkshire.
Yeah, there is. So, I mean, who says that's not a bear that's been let out?
Yeah.
You know?
So, the one in Farnborough in East Yorkshire, the guy said it looked like a giant hyena. Who's to say it wasn't an hyena that was released? You know, because that's another species that would easily survive over here.
Right.
Is an hyena, but that is what this guy claims is mutilating the sheep in Farnborough on the UK Skinwalker Ranch, and he says it was the size of a small pony.
Right.
You know, but who's to say it's not a large hyena?
Yeah.
You know, you never know.
God. It is crazy though, isn't it? And if they are interbreeding, and they're not like telling us about these things that are interbreeding because they're not really supposed to be there. When people see these sightings, is it any wonder they go to paranormal? You know.
You know, but that's what I'm saying. You know, a lot of what we are thinking is paranormal and cryptid might actually be foreign species.
Yeah.
Of a perfectly natural origin. You never know.
No. But I mean, it's like I said, how many things in the sea that we haven't identified? How many things in the rainforest that we haven't identified? It's crazy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The amount of things that are still out there that haven't been identified. It's amazing.
Yes, Sam's just put there, I found a rare bird at Kiltoy Lodge in Letterkenny, a few miles away, and seen it a few times in one of my videos. It's a Terry Turaco from East Africa.
Oh, wow.
Sam, I remember, I'm going back about 20 years ago when I was back in the Midlands. Our local pool had this black and white duck type thing, goose type thing, water bird. And that was from Africa. It was 4,000 miles away from where it should have been. And there was, you know, hundreds of bird watchers from all over the country came to see it. But it was
Yeah.
it was literally 4,000 miles off course, and it was happily swimming around in our local pool, fishing pool, and it was there for a few days, and that was 20 years ago.
I just imagine
Look
if
at
they're
that! Look at that!
breeding.
You're the only one who won
I
that.
know. And if they're breeding with our natural birds, I mean, what's out there? That looks weird.
Yeah, but the thing is, birds ain't going to be mistakes so much for cryptids. But if you think about the large mammals,
Yeah,
things like hyenas,
yeah,
jackals, coyotes.
yeah, definitely.
You know, my friend's got a raccoon back in the Midlands. You know, if they started escaping and breeding, because they're like giant rats, rodents, they're cute, but they can be quite aggressive. You know, and
Yeah,
then they breed ever so easy.
bloody hell.
You know, but if you think about
I do like raccoons though, they are kind of cool.
yeah, if you think about something like a you know, an hyena wandering around, it could quite easily, because they've got that bristly mane on the back, and when they get pissed off, they stick it up. You know, they raise their hackles. It could quite easily be mistaken for a cryptid, werewolf, whatever you
Yeah,
want, you know, you want to call it.
of course. Have you seen what you want put?
I took the kids to the zoo when they were little, and the kookaburra chased my little girl. I batted it away with my handbag. My ex-husband couldn't help but being doubled up laughing. Yeah.
Okay. I'd have been there with him, I've got to say to one.
Well, the thing is, you've only got to go near a missel thrush nest in spring when they're nesting, and you know, and that's a native bird. They're out the trees and trying to peck your head.
Oh god. I think you've got to put the amount more in as well. You put I gamble and then you point how much you want to put. Yeah, it is crazy though. But I mean, it would explain a lot of like cryptid like sites, wouldn't it? Sightings of things.
Yeah.
If
Well, when I've been to Florida 4 times, and when, you know, a couple of times when you've come out the hotel, and they always have like the big plastic dumper bins outside the hotels. And I've
yeah.
gone to lift the lid to put, you know, a coffee cup or something in. There's been a bloody raccoon sitting there looking at me. You know, and they are cute.
Yeah, they are.
But my friend's had one for years. He's called Elvis. You know, and he loves to climb up on your lap. And he lives with Rhodesian Ridgebacks. You know, and he's the cutest thing. He'll come and sit on your lap for a cuddle and stuff. He's like, you know, proper little baby.
I watch there's a I can't think of the name of it now, but there's a site where a fella and he films his raccoon that he's got
Yeah.
all the time. Well, he's got a couple of them, well, he's got a few, and he's got a big like pen all for him, and then he lets them out and puts all the toys out, and you know.
And they're, you know, they are extremely intelligent.
Yeah, yeah. I was watching him and we turn it taps on and off and everything.
You know, but what other big mammals could be over here for all we know about? You know, if you think of somewhere like the Scottish Islands, where there's very few people, because Scotland itself is underpopulated for its size. There's what, 7 million people in Scotland, and it's as big as England?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That just can be quite aggressive. I like badgers, but they can be quite aggressive.
What about all the little islands off Scotland?
Yeah.
You know, Bute and all them.
You know, but things when these people are reporting werewolves and stuff, they could quite easily be seeing a released hyena.
Yeah.
Because that would be the most common thing I'd have thought that people would mistake, with the eccles raised up and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
You know, and coyotes look like wolves, just scrawnier, smaller.
Yeah. I'm not a coyote fan, gotta be honest. I don't know. Hyenas are weird as well, though. I'm gonna be honest about that. Hyenas are the ones that look more scary. I think.
Yeah.
I think it's just the stance of them and the way they put their head down lower than the shoulders and look at that.
They've got the bristly hackles.
Yeah,
and, you know,
they are to look at more daunting, I think.
Well, if you think about it, they are the bog standard Hollywood version of a werewolf with the bristly hackles and stuff.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
this is what, you know, this is why if people just got a quick look up one, they think shit werewolf.
Yeah.
You know, and that, you know, even though they're scavengers, they will hunt as a pack and kill things. And even a lone one would be more than capable of taking down a sheep. More than capable. Because they are bloody big. People don't realise how big hyena actually are.
No, I never thought they were that big, gotta be honest.
They're huge. They're absolutely huge.
Huge.
They're bigger than a leopard.
Right. Oh God.
I'd say they're probably, you know, they can get probably to the size of a Great Dane.
Oh, weird.
They are big things.
What's gonna?
You know, but there could be all sorts loose in the country. But I do believe we do have, you know, we have got quite a fair sized big cat population in the country. I really do.
Yeah, I don't think there's really. I don't think anybody ever really doubts it. Coming face to face with it, that's a different matter, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, you know, I think that's a whole different matter whether you can. I'm just looking through Sam's videos now. I thought I'll find the cow one now, and then watch it after we come off. Because it amused the thought of it's amusing me. I can't think what did she say it was called?
It's on a blue. I can't remember which of the main ones it's on, but if you look for Sam's bloopers video, it's on there. And honestly, it's hilarious. It is absolutely hilarious.
She got a playlist of them.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I've just gone into.
Just look for bloopers,
and
you'll see the cows in there.
Right. Oh, in car ramp. There's Glenn. I can't see a bloopers one. Paranormal equipment live streams.
She did actually name the video she thinks it was on earlier on. I can't remember what she said it was.
No, I can't remember what it was.
But if you scroll up the chat when the stream's finished, you'll find it.
Yeah. I'll find it.
But it, you know, it was. It honestly, it's the funniest paranormal video I've ever seen. And if that had been, it was bad enough in the day, but that had been me in the night, I think I'd have just totally lost it. If you'd have seen a cow, you know, because dark and a torch, you wouldn't see the entire thing. All you'd see is his head, eyes, and horns, you know, and cows' eyes glow funny in the dark.
Oh God, they do, yeah.
Can you imagine if certain channels had seen it, what it would have been turned into?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Sam's videos are absolutely brilliant, Joanne. If you're looking for somebody who just does down to earth, proper old school investigation without all the bullshit and the drama and the crap, highly recommend Sam's stuff.
Yeah, she just does.
There are rumours it was Sam. There are rumours that the Hound of the Baskervilles is actually based on a true story. How true it is, I do not know, but you know, that is the general consensus that it was based on a true story.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. That it was.
You know, I can't say for definite one way or the other, but I have seen, you know, various things where it's been claimed it was based on a true story.
Samantha, put you singing the name of that video again. In what playlist it's in. Yeah, no, and it's like what was oh God, man. I can't not laugh. It's about like when I see alien car mutilation, that's another one that I have to laugh at. But like, goat man, when, you know, I mean, how did he catch this bloody plane over from America? You know?
There you go, it's Ballymacoll House with a big mansion and a cartoon cow on the thumbnail.
Ah, right, okay. I'll just go in videos and have a look then.
Ballymacoll House. It's got the cartoon cow on the thing, so you'll know it's the right one.
Yeah.
Honestly, Max, you'll miss yourself when you see it. You really will. It's absolutely brilliant vid.
I'll just search down and have a look while we're chatting. Yeah, it's like some of the things that some, shall we say, paranormal teams are saying is here is just absolutely bleeding ridiculous. And you're like, they're American legends, you know.
It would be interesting now, Max, to trawl through YouTube of the British, English, UK, whatever, and Ireland, of the, you know, Southern Ireland I'm talking about, all the paranormal videos where there's been cryptids involved. Look at the video footage they've got and see if they could be tallied to something that maybe not would be expected to be, native here, but could be something else. Could be an exotic animal. Because it would be interesting to see how many of them are actually mistaken identity, and they've still caught, a phenomenal piece of video, but not what they think it is.
Yeah. No, I agree. I
don't agree the Mothman exists at all, Maureen. I think the Mothman was too many funny cigarettes by 4 students.
Right, I found that video.
On out for a bit of fun in the woods in the car that night. Because, from the descriptions of Mothman, anatomically, by the wing size, it physically would not be able to fly. It would need 20, 30 foot wingspan to get some the size of a man off the ground.
Yeah, definitely. The people don't realise this though, do they?
No.
They don't.
But there are just... See, the cryptid side of the paranormal is fascinating because there are just so many different types of cryptids.
Yeah.
It ain't just like Bigfoot.
No, I was looking.
There's also there are just so many different variations of things that people are classing as cryptid.
Yeah, I'm literally halfway through writing out, and because I've not been well and everything, I've never got to finish typing out my script. A cryptid anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I was looking, and if you actually, I'm going to see if I can find it. This is, Wikipedia had a list.
Wikipedia? Is that where you do your research?
No, not always. I was looking for something, and I was looking for a different type of cryptid. So I wanted a name for one that I could use, one that I hadn't heard of. Do you understand what I mean? So I was just looking, and I went into a list on Wiki, right? And I found one, and then obviously I go other places to get the research, but I was just looking for a name.
Yeah.
And the amount of what people have said is cryptids on this list, I was like gobsmacked the amount that were there. So obviously I went researching a few of them, that I hadn't heard of, or and what I did find is a lot of them are things like Bigfoot or your chupacabras, just by different names from different countries, if you will. That's kind of what I found. They're like like Yeti and Sasquatch or Bigfoot.
Yowie's a good one for Bigfoot.
Yeah, I've seen that as well. Yeah, but you understand what I mean. A lot of them are actually that they have their own name, but they're actually just an extension.
Well, in Russia, Bigfoot in Russia, which has got about 4 or 5 different names depending on the region.
Yeah.
You've got the Yeti, you've got Menk, and about 3 or 4 other ones.
It's like the Inuit word for snow. There's loads of them too. Hi, Mama Cass.
Mama, do you know we've actually discovered that 2 people on this channel have actually seen big cats in the UK? How amazing is that? We started talking about UK big cats, and there are 2 people in the channel who have actually seen them.
Yeah, that's weird. It is weird.
So sighted, that on itself proves that how more commonplace they are than people realise. But see, it's things like Goatman. I know it sounds stupid, but deer, especially male deer, are quite it's quite common for them to rear up onto the back legs.
Yeah, well, they do it in a fight.
And you see something like a male deer rising up on its back legs in the dark. You've got Goatman.
Yeah.
Or Wendigo.
Yeah, definitely.
Or whatever, Skinwalker. And I ain't saying they all are, but you've got to consider these things. Just because it don't look like something you normally expect to see doesn't necessarily straight away mean it's supernatural.
No. No, but you see, this is the thing, isn't it? You start off with the logic, and you
Yeah.
know, you work
See,
took out
this is what
everything.
I always do, Max. When I do anything like this, I'd rather go from the natural explanation,
Yeah,
get rid of all of them, and then
yeah.
say it could possibly be paranormal.
True, and if in doubt, throw
But
it out.
nowadays, it's popular to be paranormal first and ignore everything else.
Yeah. Well, mine is like, if in doubt, throw it out. If I'm annotating a session, if I'm struggling, I do not alter my audio. I don't do it like
Yeah,
that. So if I'm struggling to hear it, even with my headphones on, it doesn't go in.
yeah.
If
See,
it's got,
I don't even slow my audio down.
you know,
You
well,
know, if it ain't clearly heard, I don't use it.
yeah, I do, but it's more for like an effective filler, just
Yeah,
so,
yeah, so, yeah. I know people do to make it, easier to catch.
yeah.
But
But it's also filler and it looks good. Got to be honest with you, when
but
you do, people do
the
find it.
amount of these videos you see people and they're standing in a wood looking for ghosts, so they're expecting to hear something. A twig snaps and straight away something paranormal. It's
Yeah,
something supernatural. You're in the middle of a bloody wood.
yeah,
Now you actually see me do this on the Wombwell Wood thing because Jace is going. You hear a twig snap in the background while we're at the pool, and Jace panics a bit and he's like, "What's that? What's that?" And I'm like, "Jace, it's probably a bloody fox or a badger."
yeah, yeah.
Where a lot of them had gone, "Oh, there's someone stalking us, we've been surrounded." I always look for the obvious answer first, and the most obvious answer, if you're standing in the middle of a wood at night, it's dark, and a twig snaps, it's a bloody badger or a fox, or a stout weasel, something like that.
I can't see chat because my cat's decided to sit in front of it. So I literally can't see chat at the minute. So if anybody's there, I'm not being rude. Um, I'm trying to move the bloody cat. Hold on. Um,
Who needs an apology, Mama? I won't go into tear run. Just felt you deserved an apology.
oh, I don't like apologising. I will if I have to. But it has to be something I really, really think I've done wrong. I'm terrible. I know I am. And even then, it's like dragged out of me.
Exactly, Sam. Sam's just put there. Good old Lee has just put up video called "Ghost Hunter Sees Face of Demon." How they figure out what a demon looks like, I would be interested to know. Exactly, Sam. Because what these idiots don't realise is, if you listen to the Bible, which is supposedly the authority on demons, Lucifer and them lot were the best looking of all the angels.
Yeah.
So if they're seeing a demon, what you'd be expecting to see is a very good looking person. They're going on the Hollywood version of what a demon is, and you're exactly right with what you say.
Yeah. How do they know?
How would they know? Because according to the Bible, they're just good looking people.
Well, it's like when I did my thing about the word evil, and I actually went into this and I researched it back to like even in Mesopotamia, ancient Greece, and before in Mesopotamia. Will you stop that? Sorry, I'm talking to cat. I mean, the um, the word evil or any kind of demonic or anything like that, it is always, always, always associated with some kind of god or a cult or religion or something like that. All the way back, it's never not associated with like demons or even just the word evil or things like that. It's always associated with a religion. I mean, well past, back beyond pre-Christianity, well back. And that just goes to show you that even then, when they're trying to, sell you a religion, and that, basically what
Yeah,
they're doing, you can't have good without, because if everything was good, you could go out and kill somebody and say, but it's all right because God loves me. Do you understand what I mean? They
yeah,
have
but it's like
to
what
keep
Sam's
you
put there.
right.
Horns and a big pitchfork, lol. That I know we're laughing about it, but that is, I would say, probably 95% of people who are into the paranormal think a demon is.
Yeah,
They honestly think that is what a demon would look like. And why the devil would need a pitchfork anyway is beyond me.
I don't know. He's got to keep them fires going, so maybe he use it with stoking fires. Chucking over a bit of coal on there. It is funny. I do find things like this amusing when you do it. Because I'm not religious. I'm not anti-religion. I believe in a higher power, what people would call God. I have faith in that there's something out there bigger than us. I just don't like the concept of religion. And I say this wasn't just one day. I mean, I was raised Irish Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
This was just one day. I woke up and just thought, well, I'm not doing that anymore. This was like years in coming, you know. I mean, 10 years or more with losing more and more faith in the religion, you know, that kind of thing. And then I started looking into other religions and things like this, and I just, no, I just
See,
can't.
I'm of the opinion you should keep religion out of the paranormal anyway.
Yeah.
If you're investigating, because it whether you mean to or not, you're going to put a slant on how you recording stuff. You know, your belief in that you know, your religious beliefs are going to put a slant on your observations.
Yeah, I laugh at Rob because, like, he'll go, because he is an atheist, a total and utter atheist, and he'll say stuff like, oh, for God's sake, I go, don't you be bringing him into it if you don't even believe in him, what are you saying, for God's sake? But it's true, isn't it? And I wonder, that's the other thing. I mean, how many atheists convert on the deathbed back to kind of, you know, just try, just in case kind of thing. My friend used to say that, she was an atheist. She used to say, well, when I die, if I'm wrong, I'll apologise. I said, who's to say if that heaven actually does exist, or hell, that your apologising is going to mean absolutely anything to him when you've denied it all your life?
Yeah. I don't believe in demons, Joanne, but there again, I don't believe in angels either. I believe in positive and negative energies. I don't believe in the devil. I don't believe in God, and I shouldn't really say that because I'll upset people. You know, I don't believe there's an higher power up there.
I do, but I don't necessarily think it's.
Yeah, but you can't have one without the other, Max.
Pardon? No, I don't necessarily think it's a religious, like, almighty who sat there. I think it's more like, I don't know, the universal, you know, universal power, that kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? The creator of, like, everything, but not in a religious sense, just like an energy or, you know, that kind of a thing. I'm not sure, I haven't seen it, I've never spoke to him.
See, but I can't understand how somebody says they don't believe in demons, but they do believe in God, because they're all intertwined. Really, yeah, if you go down that line of thought, if you believe in the God, you've got to believe in the demons.
No, when somebody writes a religion down, right, it's a man writing it down, unless it's a possessed man, like what's his face thought. I'm still laughing at them comments; they still make me chuckle. And that's man. Man have wrote that. They've interpreted it however they wanted to interpret it.
Yeah, but man has wrote about God. It ain't God who's written it.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
So how can you believe in one part of it but not the other?
That's my whole thing with the Bible. Man wrote it, you know.
Yeah, but you've just said you don't believe in demons because man wrote the Bible, but you do believe in God, who was also in the same book that man wrote.
No, a higher power. I don't believe what's in the Bible.
Right,
I don't believe the concept of God, like is in the Bible, is a true thing. I believe there is a higher power. I don't know. Faith, a universal power. I don't know. But I believe there's something that is above us. You know, I don't mean that in a location kind of thing, like, oh, look, heaven's up there.
Yeah.
I just meant on, you know, a structure like, well, there is something. I don't know what it is. I wouldn't even know how. I just think that there is.
It's aliens, Max. They genetically modified us.
Pardon?
It's aliens. They genetically modified us.
Don't get me started on the aliens.
That's what it is.
Listen,
that's why they can't find the missing link.
And you'll be getting a good probing, I'm telling you.
This is why they can't find the missing link. Because there isn't one. We were genetically altered.
Alright. I'm not doing it. I just, bleh. It gets me so like, ugh. I just don't understand people thinking that they've been here. I just can't. I can't do it. I thoroughly admit they're out there. You know. I just don't think they've popped in for tea. You know. And it's like, uh-oh.
Chris is I don't believe. What's it called? It's like football. How can someone believe in one side but not the other? The open goal, then, lol.
Yeah, I don't believe in either of them. So it's
But if you believe in a greater power, you've got to believe in a greater negative power, then.
no, I don't. Because power is power. Why do people want to put concepts on it? See, this is the thing. You know, if you're strong, does that mean you're automatically going to go around and hit people?
No,
No.
because
No, energy
all the
is,
way through
is
nature and even all the way through science, everything, natural law and otherwise, is dictated by balance.
yeah,
Electricity has
energy.
positive and negatives.
Yeah, it does.
Atoms have positive and negative. All energy has positive and
But
negative.
what we're talking about is something higher than that. It's it's more. Maybe it was the birth of, I don't know, an energy. I don't know.
But it's still an energy, so it must have a positive
No,
and a
I'm
negative.
not saying it's an energy. I don't know what the fuck it is. All I know is that there's something more. I'm saying energy, but I also said Mother Earth. You know, I don't know. I just think that there's more than what we have here. Or I don't know that. I just think that there is. You know, I'm saying energy because it's easy to say energy.
So you think there's a nice higher being, but not a nastier one?
I don't know if even know if it's a being concept. I don't know.
All right. So you're saying there's a nice concept, but not a negative one, a positive one, but not a negative.
Honest to God, I've never met this supported imaginary fucking entity that I think might be out there, so I wouldn't know. So you're actually questioning me on something that I've never met, talked to, and this is why people in the paranormal get fucked over. It's because they assume that this is good, that's bad, that's a demon, this is that. I don't know. I've never met them. Do you know? So I'm not going to give an opinion on something that I actually don't really know about that much.
Right.
As it's a universal thing and it's out there, I just think there's more than what we have.
Mm-hmm.
You can put a concept of a name or a sex on it, or a good or a bad. Anybody can do that. I'm saying I don't know because I've never spoke to him or interviewed them or researched them. I just think there is something more than what we actually have here. And I'm not.
And do you think that something more influences us?
I kind of think, to be honest with you, we're whether it's good or bad, I think we're our own destiny. I'm not a big believer in fate. I think we can change our own fate,
Right.
our own destiny. But I think we're the architects of it. I think what we choose to do is our choice. I don't think.
So okay, I understand that because I agree with that. I think you make your own destiny.
Yeah.
So what is the purpose of this higher concept? If it ain't.
But who's to say it's a purpose for now? Who's to say it wasn't a purpose in the beginning, when the Big Bang happened and the universe was created, and who's to say it wasn't a purpose, that wasn't its purpose? Who's to say that its purpose hasn't been fulfilled and we might not find out yet? Who's to say it actually has a purpose and it's not just hanging out there? These are all things that I don't know. I just think that this isn't it.
See, Mama, what I believe that people control their own destiny and their own fate. But I also believe that there are certain people and certain situations that you are destined, for a better word, to encounter at various points of your life. I believe there are certain, you're destined to meet certain people.
Not to quote the Bible, but there's situations in our life where the Bible quote would be, "These things are sent to try us."
Well, not always to try us, Max.
No, but
I think I believe, my personal belief is we come here to learn things, and we choose before we get here to put ourselves in certain situations to to make sure we encounter them.
No, I don't believe that. I don't. I think our lives are our own lives, and we're driving the bus. You know, I don't think there's a situation that's been forethought, foreplanned, or fate. I don't. I think we're literally driving our own bus. We are the architects of our own life and our own design, and I think what we choose to do with our life will always fall squarely on us. I don't think there's a time and a place that certain aspects or situations in our life would cause us to meet anybody. I think it's just coincidence if we do. Whether it's a negative or a positive situation we're involved in, I still think it's just a coincidence.
That comment that Sam's just put there, I think is absolutely brilliant.
Maybe the human race is the negative. Yeah, my son said to me one day the world would be a better place if humans were not on it. We do mess the earth up quite a bit. Yeah. So even if you ask my mum, and she's very religious, if you said to my mum, if you talk about heaven and hell to my mum will tell you, and she'll tell you every day of every week, this is hell. And she's thoroughly convinced that us, this earth, this planet, this is hell. This is our punishment. She thinks this is our punishment. She said, because all these people who are rich and all this, she said, who's not to say that, the things they've done to get that money, do you know what I mean? She said, She's fairly, regularly says, this is hell.
Yeah.
She said, and actually, she said, even if you read the Bible, she said, there is some quotes that would make you see that literally they are talking about here and not fiery pits kind of thing.
Sam's getting the comments of the stream for that one, because I think that is actually a brilliant point.
I mean, I do.
Well, it is if I can get the stupid command to work.
But like I said, my mum just totally and utterly thinks that this is hell, because she said this. She went, this can't be all there is, and I think that's kind of one of the things a lot of people think, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
That this just really can't be it. Because just because you're rich and have loads of money doesn't mean you're happy, doesn't mean you're settled, doesn't mean you're secure in your life. Name me somebody who hasn't had something horrible happen to them on this planet, or something bad and negative, or there isn't anybody. I believe in hell. I don't know whether destined. I mean, maybe through your genes or your chromosomes or something, maybe destiny that way, but that's not really destiny in the way that you were, I don't know, think about past life regression or things like that. People think they influence the life that we have now. I don't know. I just don't believe in fate. I just don't. In destiny, I think, like I said, we're driving our own. We're dancing to the beat of our own drum.
Why do you think Goatman and Slenderman and Zozo and everything are making a reoccurrence all of a sudden?
Ka-ching!
Do you think that's what it is?
Yes.
They're running out of subjects, so they need to fall back onto old chestnuts.
Ka-ching!
Yeah.
Even the people who are doing the TV shows and everything, there's only so much that will bring in money, and certain subjects will bring in money, and they're the big ones. So yeah, it's all about the money for those big people.
Mm-hmm.
I thoroughly and totally believe that they went past paranormal, and I'm not saying, say just take Zach Bagans for instance. I'm not saying he didn't start out with a genuine interest, because he probably did. I think that sort of went to the wayside when he made his first million. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Do you think Zach Bagans is getting genuine evidence, or do you think it's all manufactured?
I don't think. Do you know what? And I see this a lot, right? I couldn't tell you with Zach Bagans, but I do see a lot with certain YouTubers even. They're actually faking the stuff, but if you're listening, they're actually getting good stuff as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or things that, I'm not saying they're paranormal, but things that are actually genuinely there, that's decent, shall we say, evidence. And I think that probably happens on Ghost Adventures as well. You know, they're all about the audio, and you know, we all know how much audio can be manipulated. But I bet you they get stuff as well. I think this happens to everybody. I think there's genuine stuff out there wherever we are, because I don't necessarily believe that all spirits are tied to one place. So I mean, maybe he has a familiar spirit, you know.
See, this is why I would never, ever, ever fake anything on my channel. Because once you've done it once and you're caught out, you could get the best evidence ever after.
Nobody's ever
Genuine
gonna
evidence, and nobody's ever going to believe it.
Yeah, that's very true. I agree totally with that. But I'm not being funny.
I'm just going to nip to the loo, Max.
Yeah, go on, I'll talk. I hate editing my videos. It takes hours. And I'm only doing spirit box sessions. But when you start annotating and, you know, editing like things in, and, you know, if you're going to slow some captures down or things like that, I mean, it's hours and hours and days of work, right? How the hell do these fakers have the time to start not only just going through the stuff, but adding fake stuff in as well? I just don't get that. To me, it's just like more like hard work. And I also think that spirits are stupid, and they will not contact people who they think are faking, and maybe that's why they have to fake. I think when that initial thought, or when that first instance of fakery happens, because they don't think they're getting enough evidence, I think the spirits won't want to communicate with them anyway, you know, because you're taking their voice away from them, aren't you? And I believe the spirits like to have a voice. So, you know, when you start faking and taking the voice away from them, why would they want to talk to you anyway? You know, why would they want to communicate with you? Whether it's an object moving, a stone throwing, a door shutting, you know, an EVP, a spirit box reply, they wouldn't want to talk to you, would they? Because you've just literally took the voice away by faking it.
See, I think the vast majority now of what Zach Bagans does is fake. I do think he probably had his original experience that got him interested in the paranormal, and I think he probably got evidence early on that was good, but I think it got to the point where he's like the rest of them now. He's at the same point as Mouse Daunting. He's under pressure to produce evidence, and he's just going to whatever lengths he needs now to get it.
Yeah, but he's producing this show, so he's under pressure from himself and his bank balance.
Exactly, and that's what it comes down to, bank balances.
Yeah. So if he fakes, he's faking with the full knowledge that it's literally only for monetary gain. You know, I think I mean, I could be wrong here. Was his first sorry, I've got a bottle of Six Pop and I was just opening it. That's what that squeaking was. Was that his first experience? Not he saw a lady in a flat he lived in or something like that, and coming out of the bathroom or something. I think that was like his first paranormal experience. He saw like a female ghost, a spirit, walking out of the bathroom or something, you know. And I think that set him on the road to like his paranormal journey. But I think once he realised the scope of everything, then the pressure piled on for the pounds, didn't it?
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, I think so too.
Zach Bagans is nuts, but I still watch him all.
Yeah, I watch them. I just watch them for entertainment.
I've got to be honest, I ain't watched a Ghost Adventures for ages. I watched the one when they were in the Skinwalker cave.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably the last time I really watched them. But
caused uproar, that Skinwalker one, didn't it?
It what?
Caused uproar.
Why?
There were a lot of controversy about it.
About him going in there?
Yeah, on sacred land and doing these kind of things and that. Yeah, there was.
But there again, they did. The Native Americans did give him permission to go in. It weren't like he just barged in.
No, but I mean, you know, they did speak for all Native Americans, did they? I suppose, and therein lies a problem at the minute. Everything has to be a community freaking decision.
Chris
Yeah.
says Chris says he likes Derek's possessions. Yeah, they used to be quite amusing. You know, but see, this is the same with Most Haunted. I think with Most Haunted, when they originally started, they were getting evidence. And I think now it's just got to the point where they fake everything they do. Well, I know they fake everything they do.
Well, it's like when we were talking about Borley Rectory the other day, and they had a lot of stone throwing, didn't they, and things like that. I think that's Most Haunted got that concept from, because you do see them talking about the rectory quite a lot. If you listen through the seasons of it, it has been brought up more than once. So it makes me wonder if they actually did some of the concept, because it was supposedly the most, I mean, self-titled by Harry Price, obviously, it's the most haunted house in Britain. Makes you wonder if they didn't use some of the activity that supposedly went on as their framework for it. You know, I mean, if you're going to nick something from somewhere to fake, you're going to nick it from the supposed most haunted house, aren't you?
Yeah. Here's a question for everybody in chat. If you could get one piece of paranormal evidence in your lifetime, what would you want it to be? That includes you, Max.
I don't know, to be honest, because I kind of like what I get now, but I don't know, because one of my favourite sayings is, for me, is like, I don't believe there's proof in the paranormal. I believe we're trying to gain evidence. I believe that the paranormal's proven 100%. When I see Elvis being interviewed by Oprah on live TV, you know.
No, I'm saying if you know, and this is true, I want to see what everybody else thinks in chat as well. If you could provide evidence that proves one aspect of the paranormal, what would you want it to be? And everybody put in chat what theirs would be.
A direct conversation through my spirit box where I asked a question and received a direct reply, but not once, or have a proper.
Yeah, but that still wouldn't be absolute proof.
No, but it would for me. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not really asked about other people. I know that sounds horrible. Thank you. I'm not really that concerned. I'm only ever, and this is why I'm never going to make money out of it, and I'm never going to be famous, and all this stuff it's because I'm literally doing it for myself, because it's something I love and enjoy. And as I really love my spirit box, that's kind of what would work for me. Do you know what I mean? Because it's only ever for myself at the end of the day. I enjoy sharing what I get with other people, and I hope they enjoy it too. But when it really boils down to it, it's me I'm searching for the answers for, you know? So to me, that would be it. A full conversation, back and forth, using my spirit box with, good, clean, crisp replies. That's what would work for me.
I don't. A visit to the other side in person and back. Hi, Stephen.
How could you prove that?
That's what I said. But if she brought the proof back that she'd visited, that would be Dawn's. So I can understand that one. To be able to get to the other side, prove it, and come back. I would say, Joanne says, I wish I could see all my past family members come back and visit me all together, where I could see them all together and happy.
Exactly, Dawn, you'd know, yeah. Exactly, yeah, and I agree with what Dawn said, she'd know.
Sam says, I would love my friend to talk to me that I lost 2 years ago. It would be enough for me and bring me peace.
You see, can't you tell all the genuine people on here? We're all so genuine.
Amazing, innit?
We're not like sat here like wanting flashy photos or things like this.
See, I would love, for me personally, I would love to get a Bigfoot. Let science, cut a few hairs off and stuff. take pictures, take blood samples, and then let it go again, just to prove it was actually a living being.
Could you? Yeah, but you know damn well that if the scientists got hold of a Bigfoot, there'd be no.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's why I said in the ideal world.
Yeah.
I knew it would never happen in real life. They'd hang on to it, but I would,
Yeah.
I'd love to prove that something like the Bigfoot, that the cryptids are actually, or some of the cryptids are actually, real. Would be the ultimate for me.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd like that. But, we don't live in an ideal world. We live where scientists would get hold of that poor creature and vivisect it.
Right, Stephen, the question is, if you could have the ultimate proof of something within the paranormal that would prove without a shadow of a doubt to everybody else that aspect of the paranormal was real, what would it be? Oh, that must be awful, Sam.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to see what Stephen's would be in a minute.
Right, it's parents again.
Yeah.
See, we're literally not going for glam here, are we? We're literally being genuine people and all.
Yeah.
Like, it's for us and not really for other people.
Joan says it would probably end up in my house, Brett, if they let it go again long.
Oh, yeah.
See, because I am not 100% convinced that we will ever...
I don't think so.
...fully prove life after death. Because I do believe there are natural protections in place that will stop that ever happening.
No, I agree.
Because I think it would be too catastrophic on the living to find out there's somewhere nicer you go when you're dead.
No, I've done spirit box sessions, and when you get too into things like this, they literally say, "Shh, that's enough. Don't tell her. Don't speak." And I've heard it. And they'll go quiet, and the box will go like dead. I do think there's limits to what they are allowed, and it is allowed. I think there's a power structure over there.
So who do you think's setting these limits then, Max?
I don't know. Maybe people who've been there longer. I don't know. Maybe they understand the concept of. I don't know. Maybe they understand the concept.
Spiritual parliament.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But I think they understand the concept that too much information or actually proof of it could actually be a more dangerous thing than actually just thinking that we know the truth. Do you understand what I mean? I think it's a dangerous game, really. We can all. I mean, I suffer with depression. I suffer with anxiety. I've tried suicide, and I think a lot of people in this life are going through bad times. If we were guaranteed an afterlife, I think there'd be queues lining up at the top of buildings,
Okay, well, here's another one for everybody. If everybody believes there's an afterlife, and not everybody does, and that we move on to somewhere else, where are new souls coming from?
Well, I just think it's recycled energy.
Yeah, but you can't be recycled.
Well, the energy can, and I think I saw.
Yeah, but at some point, the spare energy would run out, and then you'd have to start recycling the souls.
Yeah, but energy doesn't die, so it can be.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Max. But if you're saying it's coming from other energy, but eventually that pool of other energy would run out, and been converted into the soul energy, so then soul energy would have to be converted to make new souls. You see what I'm saying?
Oh. Sorry,
so if there is a life after death and we're like eternal souls, where do people think new souls are coming from?
See, I just don't necessarily think, and this is something that I bounce around in my head a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily think that one soul is for one thing. I think this energy is like a mass of energy, if you will. Let's just say a pool of energy.
Yeah.
And energy is energy is energy. And
right.
Who are we to say that it only comes from this planet? There's lots of planets out there with different energies and different hope, I'm hoping beings that, sometimes our future generations might get to see. But I do think that there's life forms in other planets, and that doesn't automatically mean humanoid. Humanoid, it could be that they're a form of a dog, like we have dogs. I think we all release this energy back into the universe, and there's enough for us all for it just to keep going on and going on and going on. I don't think it ever stops. I think it's always going to get recycled that way, and it doesn't automatically have to be from our planet. I think it's a universal thing. And when people
so you think it's an infinite energy?
Yeah, I do. I just think it's a universal energy.
Dawn just made an interesting comment. Where's it gone?
Right, I'm eating, so I'm not really.
Where's Dawn's comment on justice about soul splitting?
Yeah,
some believe that soul
split. This, didn't we? The other week we were talking about soul splitting. Last week, a week before, just me and you in private, we talked about soul splitting, didn't we?
Mm-hmm. See, I think we're all part of one consciousness. I believe we all come from one consciousness, and I think we all return to it. But we keep our own individuality within there. And that's why I think things like racial memory and stuff works. I think if
see, this is the thing when people
into that
life regressions. I get what your conscious thing is, and I kind of agree with that. But when you have people, well, I've never had a past life regression, and it's not something I'm automatically believing. But when people will have that kind of experience, and maybe a deja vu kind of experience, all these things, and past life experiences, maybe the past life that they're actually experiencing, they're saying it's this, that, but who says it's from Earth? It could be a past life regression, somebody's past life from a different planet for all we know.
So what would you do, Mags, if you were hypnotically regressed and found out you were a little grey man who visited here 100 years ago and abducted somebody? Because that would cause a conflict for you.
Aye.
What would you do?
Aye.
Would you believe it?
No, because I don't really believe in it anyway. But I'd also feel sorry for the psychiatrist or hypnotherapist who chose to regress me, to be honest with you. God knows what she did right in there.
So if the people in here who believe in reincarnation, do you think you get to choose what you come back as?
No.
You don't?
I don't think so. I think we... what if we all wanted to come back as the same thing? I mean, nobody's going to want to come back as an ant, are they? A cockroach. I mean, if they give you a choice up there and cockroaches on the list, nobody's ticking that, are they? And yet we've got shed loads of cockroaches, right? Nobody's ticking to come back as a cockroach.
Yeah, but see, this is where our Buddhism beliefs come in it, that you start off, that everybody starts off as the lowest form of life, and as you develop, you get to go into higher and higher forms. So do you think that's right? Do you think it's that along them kind of signs, or do you think you just go into a raffle and you just pick it out and you're going to be a cockroach this time around?
I don't know, but no, I've got the worst luck, me, right? I do have the worst luck, and knowing me, I'll get up there and take listful, you're a cockroach. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You'll be like, I would promise you this time you could come back as like, I don't know, a Swedish looking model. Well, we messed up, you're a cockroach again.
That is roughly what the Buddhists believe. That if you taint yourself, you go back down the scale, and if you're good, you go up the scale.
Oh, I've never been good in my life, Brett. I really shit out of luck there, then, aren't I?
I ain't 100% convinced about past life regression.
No, I'm not.
I do believe that some people have had genuine ones because I think there's been cases where, especially in places like India, where kids have taken you know people back to their previous houses they lived in and found even to the point of finding things they've hidden under floorboards and stuff. Walked straight into a room and said lifted a floorboard up and brought out a box that was who they were previously. So I think there is evidence that it does happen, but I think it's also very open to suggestion.
Yeah, that Indian one's a good one, isn't it? She believes that she's a reincarnation of this other family, and she went to them and that, didn't she?
Yeah. See, I'm always very wary of people who come back claiming to be Julius Caesar and Cleopatra.
Yeah, there's a load of them, isn't there?
Yeah, I'm always thinking, yeah, whatever. Why can't you just come back as the local cow farmer?
Wonder how many people have come back and gone, yeah, I was Hitler.
Yeah, exactly.
I was Genghis Khan.
And many people going to come back and claim that.
Vlad Tepesh. I use those stakes well, right up there. Nobody's coming back and saying that, that they were mass murderers.
Joanne, I do believe, it does happen. But, in terms of regression, where people don't know about past lives until they regress, I do believe people, there is a case for reincarnation. I don't necessarily believe there's a case for regressive hypnosis. If you know what I'm saying, because a lot of the more convincing cases, a lot of the more convincing cases of reincarnation haven't involved hypnotic regression. These kids and people have been insisting it from when they were born.
That's what I was just saying. Yeah, that's what it is. You've got to give them like proper due diligence and have a good look into them, because the ones who are from being able to talk and start talking about it, that's a whole different ball game than being regressed, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I do believe that reincarnation does happen, but I don't. And I ain't saying that hypnotic regression doesn't work, but I think it is too subject to outside influences to trust.
I don't know whether
Vlad the Impaler aren't in the house, Mama.
No, I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen that. Are they claiming Vlad the Impaler is haunting their house?
Oh, Jesus.
So what? Talking of Vlad the Impaler, what do you think on things like vampires? Do you think they're supernatural, or do you think they're based on other things?
I don't think they're supernatural. I think people claiming to be a vampire have an illness. I think haemophilia played a lot into the, if you go back, in time when vampire mythology and things like that, I think a lot of it had to do with haemophilia and things like that. And I just think they're actually born from other human issues, problems, diseases, illnesses. I think.
Well, there is actually a medical condition that's similar to anemia.
Yeah.
Where they have an aversion to light, and drinking blood does actually alleviate the symptoms.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many in there.
Yeah.
It's just there's so many things out there that it could be. I mean, and at the end of the day, we're not just evolving. Our diseases are changing. I mean, there is some that go way back. But, I mean, not every disease that was around then is around now. So who's to say it wasn't something a disease that hasn't gone extinct,
Yeah.
That started off the things. Just so many things it could be other than supernatural. But I mean, you think about it, 1700s, 1600s, you know, these were like things that they would class as being evil, demonic, supernatural, if you will, because they didn't know what they were and what was happening. You know, whereas today we'd just say it's an illness, it's a disease, it's a problem. Back then, they would have been putting the evil tag on it, wouldn't they? The demonic.
Yeah. Joanne said if you could be allowed for 1 week to visit a past era to see what it was like, which one would you choose? She's put I'd have to choose the Victorian era. I know where I'd go.
Ooh.
I would go back either to the very end of the Mayan ink period or the very end of the ancient Egyptian period to find out exactly why the civilizations collapsed.
Yeah, like Mesopotamia.
Yeah, I'd like to go and see if the Library of Alexandria actually existed with all this so-called knowledge and stuff in it.
I believe, like, you know, like a few years ago they found what would be an early battery in Iran, didn't they?
Yeah.
I'd like to see if and why we had certain knowledges back there that we lost again, and why we lost them again. That kind of thing. Because, I mean, I don't know what year the modern day battery was invented, but if we had a similar thing that could create power back then, why did it take so long to come out with a modern day battery?
Yeah. Here's one for everybody in the chat then. Do you believe that peoples like the Incans, the ancient Greeks, the Mayans, the ancient Egyptians had alien help? Do you believe they were granted knowledge by more intelligent beings, shall we say? Including you, Mags.
Oh, it's easy, that, girl.
I know what your answer's going to be.
No. That's a good thing, that civilization. Yeah, but why? Why does it do that though? Because that's the thing. I mean, it's a good thing, but
yeah, that's why I'd want to go back to like the end of the Mayan period to find out why it happened. We know it happened. I want to know why it happened.
Why? You know, that's the thing. Yes, history. I mean, God, flares came back into fashion. God knows why, but they did for a time in the 90s, didn't they?
Yeah, but the difference between retro, Chris, and ancient knowledge, the ancient knowledge was never recovered. A lot of it was never recovered, and other bits of it took thousands of years to come back.
Yeah,
advanced technology took thousands of years to come back.
I mean, you've got to understand that when they created that battery thousands of years ago, there wasn't.
Can you just carry on, Max? I've got a call.
Yeah, there wasn't just one person who knew about that battery. That battery would have probably been used throughout their clan or what have you. So why on earth did everybody forget that they knew how to use this battery or they knew how to make this energy? Why did it go? You know, was the whole clan wiped out by, I don't know, a meteor? Or, do you know what I mean? There's been some kind of event that stopped this knowledge being passed down. Because we do find it in like archaeological digs that these strange things like the battery and other things as well, you know, through writings on walls and things like that. So why haven't we got them now? Why did they fade out and then only just come back in, you know, the industrial period and things like this? Mm-hmm. It's crazy. It is crazy when you think about it.
Right. Joanne says she doesn't believe in aliens, to be honest, but I could be very wrong. We don't know what is out there. So does anybody else believe one way or the other that ancient civilizations had help? Because if you study things like the pyramids and stuff, the precision with which they were built we would struggle even today to do with all our modern technology. So do you believe that they were helped by somebody with greater knowledge?
I believe that the pyramids were built to a design, and it was a design made by man.
You believe it was a man-made design?
Oh yeah.
So what, you believe they had the ancient Egyptians had the technology to do it?
They had the brains. So
Yeah, but
yeah.
did they have the technology?
I watched a thing on this, and they did have the technology. I mean, we always hear about all the slaves. It took a lot of manpower. It took a lot of manoeuvring, but they did do it. I watched a thing on it, and to me, it seems about right.
Yeah. I ain't talking about like moving the blocks and stuff, because we know what they can do that. But it was the actual precision and things of how the blocks were actually laid. Do you think that there was more than what we know about today?
Nope.
In effect, there.
No, I just believe that they had the knowledge. Whether they had it as time went by, that's a different matter. It's the same kind of thing, isn't it? Maybe we've just lost the knowledge that they had. You know, that it could just be simple as that. Maybe they had that knowledge, and maybe it was second nature to them. But somewhere along the line, it went through for whatever reason. You know.
Yeah.
Bit
See,
like
but there's nothing in Egypt's history to explain. There's no like massive. I know that they had the flood and everything.
Yeah.
But there is no major natural disaster that could explain how this knowledge vanished.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? You know, if there'd have been a massive cataclysm in Egypt, you could have understood it. But Egypt has never suffered. Neither did the Mayan culture. You know, they just up and left. You know,
Yeah.
where did they go?
I don't know, but we'd be rich over here, wouldn't we?
Yeah. Let's read some of the comments. Mama Cass says, I just think it's so vast there must be other life out there. Joanne says, have you ever thought that we could be miniatures on another planet somewhere where the people from there are much bigger than we are in the world? You mean like the Matrix, similar to the Matrix? Or Jason and the Argonauts when the gods are looking down, moving us as chess pieces?
It's like there's a theory out there that we're actually a game being played by other people.
Yeah. Mama Cass says, I think maybe they did breath, they had help. Hi Jules. Ruby says hello to everybody.
Hi Julie.
Dawn says humans have traded with ET's technology for centuries. I don't necessarily believe they traded for technology, Dawn. I think they may have been assisted with technology, because I honestly can't see what ancient civilizations would have had to offer an advanced thing. But I do believe they've had, maybe not necessarily extraterrestrial help, though I think it probably was, but they have had help from somewhere. Joanne says the pyramids fascinate her. I believe they were I believe they were man-made, but how were they man-made?
Well,
Chris says the pyramids is made by masons. I think they had the knowledge of sacred geometry. Well, then there was slavery.
Right. I just put, how did the pyramids? How were the pyramids designed? And then just put mathematics, because obviously there's got to be some kind of design in there.
Yeah.
And it says they used simple math to make such great pyramids. They used Pythagoras theorem, trigonometry.
Oh yeah.
Simple algebra. So.
Yeah, it's not. I'm not saying about whether they had the thing to construct them. It was whether they had the ability to construct them in the way they did. Like the pyramid, those stones really locked together. That every angle is to within points of a degree of 90 degrees on the corners.
Yeah, well, that's what they say.
Now you're talking about people who only had hammers and chisels.
Yeah, no, I think, but I mean, look at, right, okay, I know it's not the same and we're not going back right to ancient times, but look at some of the early sets of drawers or wardrobes where they're not actually used any screws in them or anything like that. These is it, I don't know what's it called, Doven something or other, like, and where they lock them into place like that.
Dovetail joints.
Yeah, I mean, they've been going around a long, long time as well. They have the ability to do it. I mean, I'm not saying might not have been a bit of trial and error, and a few slaves fell off while they were doing it, but I do believe that they had the nous to be able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Some aliens, some originate from Dr. Seuss. Yeah, I think this, and I always say this, and I am quite good with this. We're going out of this world probably with more questions than we came into it, and very little answers. But I'm okay with that. I'm good with it because I like questions, I like answers, and I like theories.
Yeah.
So, I like people's opinions, I like the theories behind them. So I'm good with going out of this world with not all the answers,
Mm-hmm.
and a few extra questions. It's just so interesting. It's interesting because it is paranormal, not always paranormal ghosts, but just not normal in our own natural environment, shall we say?
Yeah. See, and the thing with pyramids as well, and this is a known fact. If you place a blunted razor blade inside a pyramid and leave it, it will automatically sharpen. Did you know that?
Well, you can understand that because of the what they're actually built of.
No,
Because
any pyramid, Max. Apparently,
yeah,
you put a blade in. So, what do you believe pyramids are actually interacting in some way to?
I believe that the ground moves. The ground moves naturally. It's a natural thing. It will settle. It will move. It will shake. Are you telling me that anything that's set up on the top of it is
No,
not
no,
going
no,
to?
no, 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 Max. They're saying if you put a razor blade in a little plastic pyramid on your table, that blade will sharpen.
Right. Well, I can't have a theory about that because I've never tried it. So it's something I can't. That's just a theory, isn't it? I've not seen it
No,
done.
it's been proven. It's a proven theory. Apparently, it does work.
I've never done it, so I mean, I can't say, oh yeah, it does, because I've never done it. But pretty cool if it does. It is pretty cool. I wouldn't know why it did it, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, Chris is right there. Geometry is easy. It's always perfectly equal because geometry relies on equilateral triangles. Triangles being the simplest. Yeah, that's right. So those hieroglyphics are even more confusing. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, they've still never. I mean, all the hieroglyphics they've come across, and they've still not been able to decode the majority of them. They've got certain ones that they think, but the majority of them, they can't, which is pretty cool, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where's instructions?
Right, I'm just reading some of the chats.
Yeah, me too.
Where does the inheritance originate from? That's all the mighty question, I think. Well, at some point, people have got to have just developed naturally. In either here or somewhere else. It's evolution. But, there are periods in Earth's history where it seems evolution or knowledge has jumped forward at a very rapid rate over a very short time and then disappeared again.
Yeah.
It just seems very funny.
It is.
And and if there was, like I say, if there was massive cataclysms to explain it, then fair enough. But like the ancient Egyptians and the ancient Greeks, there were no real massive cataclysms that would wipe that knowledge off the face of the planet. So, was it their knowledge or was it somebody else's that they took away with them when they left?
We do know that throughout there was a flood. There was.
Oh yeah.
And you can literally follow the track if you know where you're looking, you can literally follow the thing of it.
Oh yeah, there was a great flood. There's no doubt about that.
And it actually appears in not just everybody always says Noah and his ark, but there's actually flood stories through several different
Yeah,
religions.
but none of them were the mass extinction that the Bible makes them out to be.
No,
You know,
no,
there was thousands and thousands, well, millions of people survived, thousands however many there was around at the time.
yeah,
You know, so that wouldn't wipe out all the knowledge.
no. But I mean, what you've also got to think about is they lived in small groups back then as well. They weren't, you know, like 2,000, 3,000 years ago. They were only just starting to build little towns and things like this. But you know, for the most part, people lived out away from each other, in small, usually families or clans or what have you.
Yeah.
Maybe if one clan had a knowledge of something,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, we as people can, and I'm assuming they were no different back there. We like to guard our own stuff, so
Yeah.
maybe they didn't share it, and we're just finding one clan's take or one clan's design or one clan's thing. You know, maybe they didn't share it with the neighbours 20 miles down the road or what have you.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean? It could
You know,
literally
but
be simple.
summit on the scale of the pyramids have got to have been pretty much countrywide.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
I'm not talking just pyramids. I'm talking about other things as
yeah,
well.
but I'm talking about like knowledge of how the pyramids was built and then it was suddenly lost. There's no explanation for how it was lost.
Well, maybe they just didn't write it down in the way that we. Maybe it's wrote down. Maybe it's in one of these hieroglyphs that they haven't bloody decoded yet. Do you know what I'm saying? It could be that simple. It could be the knowledge is there. They just don't know how to access it. I wish to believe. Yeah.
Right. So, what's people's opinions on flat Earth? And this is normally the part when I'll start laughing.
Hey.
Does anybody in here believe the Earth is flat?
I'm waiting for these answers before I say anything. Yeah, maybe he knows. Hieroglyphs is not. I said, yeah, it could be.
Right, Jules says the Earth isn't flat.
Yeah. Oh, he's got a high score. Ooh, might have a bit in that.
It looks like the general consensus, Mags, is that the Earth is round.
I agree. I just don't. I just can't see how people think it's flat. It's one of those things that's not even hard to prove.
Oh, Chris don't know one way or the other. Bumpy. I think, you know, with modern satellites and stuff, and you know, and telescopes out in space, and the heights we fly at now, you know, I think there's just that much proof out there now that the world's round, and these people who think the Earth's flat are bonkers. You know, they're even getting to the point where they're claiming airplane windows have been specifically designed to make the flat Earth look curved. You know, I think that is just taking conspiracy theories a little bit too far.
You can literally stand on a beach and watch a ship go over the horizon.
Yeah, well, they're claiming that's to do with perspective and stuff, but
it's really not.
No, it's not.
Right, listen, this is the thing. It would have had to be a big conspiracy to say for us to change our opinion, that because we used to believe the Earth was flat, right? Why would they turn around one day and say, oh no, it's round, and then people are saying now it's flat? I mean, we literally thought it was flat. Why?
But that was because in really old, in them days, people didn't travel very far.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is they discovered it was round. If they discovered it was flat, it was no biggie off them because they already thought it was flat.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Why would we suddenly say, oh no, we've decided it's round, but don't tell anybody it's really flat.
Yeah.
When they already thought it was flat.
Yeah.
You know, I don't get that. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah, gravity stops us from falling off, but nobody actually knows what gravity is at the moment, do they?
No.
They know it's a force, but they don't know how it works. But
But
I
we
don't think in any way, shape, or form we are living on a flat planet. You know, and I really do think people who think the Earth is flat are bonkers.
Oh, I lost my money.
Mags, I ain't won one of these things for days. I'm beginning to think that I've done something to bog myself up. Right, what is everybody's opinion on possession?
No.
No.
Oppression, yeah, because I believe that we can sense things, and if we can sense,
Well, if Terry Pratchett's to believe, we're on the back of
yeah, turtle.
a turtle supported by 4 elephants.
I love that picture. I think oppression is more probable than possession. I think it doesn't have to be, you know, they don't automatically say demons possessed you. Well, that's usually the go-to, in it, a demon, which I find very hard to say, oh yeah, I'm possessed by a demon, when I don't believe in demons. But to me, it's we've all sensed, gone into a room and it's felt bad and negative, or things like that. I've gone into a room and it's been nice and clean and, you know, happy. And so I think energy wise you could probably have the feeling of oppression, something negative, sticky, you know, that kind of thing, but not possession.
See, it depends what people mean by possession. From a religious point of view, no, I don't believe it had happened. From a point of view of what I believe, you know, about positive and negative energies, I think it may be possible for either to some way interact with the body.
Yeah, like an oppression, it can make you feel bad. It can make you,
yeah,
it can make you want to.
You know, but I don't believe in the biblical idea of, you know, your head starts spinning round and you suddenly hate Jesus and love Satan and that kind of crap.
I'm not going to say it, but your mother sucks in hell.
Yeah. I don't believe in possession from a religious point of view. I believe it could happen from positive and negative.
Yeah.
Look, I died. Look, can you believe that?
I didn't do that one. And did you only did that?
Honestly, from the stream the other night, I have not won a single one of these in about 20 attempts. I think it was just another form of controlling the masses as far as religion's concerned.
Yeah, I do.
You know, I think that's what it was done for.
That's what I was saying. You can't have. They had to have a negative, because if everything was going to be good and sweetness and light, and this religion was like the way to the light and all this, but yeah, you could go out and kill somebody without any repercussions.
Yeah.
That's not good, is it? They had to make you think that being good and following God and everything was the right thing to do. So they chucked hell, damnation, and fire and brimstone in there.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think, Mama. I think, you know, they can influence but not possess. Oh, we got a nice given. Let's lose another 1,000 points.
I'm trying to think. Let's try 200.
Sam says, I believe in possession as I was a exorcism, but it's not like the movies. But a bit skeptical of possession of Annabelle and Robert dolls. I don't believe in that spirit. So, what are people's opinions on things like haunted objects? Do you believe they're in effect haunted by something, or do you just think it's more of an attachment type thing?
I think it's an attachment, not haunted.
Yeah, I do as well.
I think it's an energy trail that can lead back to certain points in people's lives, and I think we leave them wherever we are. The things we touch, the places we go, the things that have meaning to us. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's more like an invisible energy trail, and we can go revisit that if we want to.
Yeah, I think it's an attachment. You know, I really don't think, you know, any spirit or entity or whatever you want to describe them as would want to spend their lives living in a China doll or a plastic doll or
No.
somebody's teddy bear or even the bloody family mantelpiece clock.
No, exactly. I'm gonna be well peeved if I do have like this afterlife stuff's all real, right? Because I really do think we're only going to find out afterwards.
Yeah.
We can believe as much as we want to, it don't make it true, does it?
No.
So I'm going to be well peed off if I come back as a bloody and I'm stuck in a freaking doll. I am going to be so mad if I'm stuck in a freaking doll for the rest of eternity till like my energy gets recycled or what have you. I'm going to be well peeved.
Here you go again. Look, I've died again. Can you believe that? Chris says, I think it's a detachment from divination. It's up to anyone if they think it's a real negative energy that's been trapped in it. The thing is, Chris, not every possession is a negative one. There are cases of, you know, where it's been like a positive type of possession.
Well, there's things where angels have supposedly done it.
Yeah.
So, what about Nephilim and things like that? What are your thoughts on Nephilim?
Don't believe in them. I just think again they're just a religious connotation.
Yeah. What about ancient things like giants or stuff like that?
Well, I think it's quite possible because you know you've got things like the giant apes and stuff that used to roam around.
Yeah.
And I think they only died out about 30,000 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
They were around in the Ice Age, so you know, gigantus or I can't remember what they call it.
Yeah, I know. I was actually reading about it.
Yeah.
This
you know, and they were still around up until the Ice Age, so it's quite possible that you know they could have been mistaken as giants and things like that.
Yeah.
Because they'd have been human enough looking. Oh, shit, I forgot to put them, yeah. Right, we'll do this last heist and then I'll be closing the stream down, guys. I don't know.
How David used to, my brother who died, he wasn't overly religious or anything. And he used to think we came from space. He was literally, I mean, he thinks that aliens populated our world in the beginning.
Mags, it's been proven everything on Earth came from outer space originally.
Yeah.
So in one way, he's right.
That was like one of the theories he used to think in his head, you know.
Yeah. You know,
and that's why we played that Spaceman Came Travelling by Christy Berg when so yeah, it was. That was like one of the theories he liked to throw around.
You know, because everything we've been made of has come from the Big Bang.
Yeah.
So, you know,
our evolution couldn't have happened the way our evolution did. They could have just planted the seeds, if you will.
Yeah. Right, guys, I'm going to close the stream down because what was going to just be a little basic tinker has turned into a 3.5 hour long stream. So thank you all for joining. I will be doing one tomorrow night to finish off the haunted locations we've got left. There are 5 of them and there are some decent ones amongst them. So we'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you for coming on and chatting, Max, and thank you for everybody else and all your comments in the chat. You know, it really is appreciated, and it is nice to get people's opinions on stuff and see what other people think.
Shows how often we do these during the day. Like, night, everybody.
Yeah, I know.
Bye, everybody. Take care.
Okay. Thanks, everybody, and talk to you soon.
See you. Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.